There's no buys.
We're all done with the bye weeks.
No buys.
Finally.
None. Sorry, none here.
First matchup on the docket, Thursday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Chargers. The over-under in this game is 50.5. I'm going over on this just because I'm feeling hyped. Los Angeles Chargers have a lot to prove in this game. I think Austin Eckler is going to play, but he's going to be limited. I think you're going to see a little bit of him and Justin Jackson because the Chargers need this win to, lock it in. So Kansas City is going to put up a fight. Los Angeles Chargers are going to ball out. I could see this being a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I chose the under. Now, granted, he gave me no time to do my over and unders today, so these were just quick, I don't know here. So I did pick the under. I feel like it's going to be high scoring, but I don't see it going that high. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of turnovers and I feel like it's just going to be messy. So that's why I went under.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs defense did show up this past week. That was against the Raiders, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that the Raiders didn't look too good, but I feel like both of these defenses could put up a fight or, prevent each other from scoring a lot of points. So I could see the under on this. I'm just banking on it being two high-scoring offenses.
The Raiders at the Browns with a 42.5 over and under, and we both took the under.
Yeah, just like I said, the Raiders didn't look good last week. I don't think they're going to look good this week. Another one is Cleveland Browns players. Speaking of COVID pop-ups,
a lot of them.
They had at least COVID, 8, right?
Yeah,
they had and they're all fantasy impactful players. Whether they were linemen, still affects in fantasy.
I know Landry was one.
Austin Hooper was another. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're getting hit with these right now, unfortunately. And I just don't see the score going, too high. That's why I'm going under on that. The Dallas Cowboys have a divisional matchup at the New York Giants. 44.5 over under. I went risky on this and I went over. And the only reason I'm saying it's risky is Daniel Jones is most likely not playing this game either. If he does, then obviously it wasn't too risky. But with his neck injury or whatever's going on, I just don't see him playing. I mean, I think he just went to a spinal doctor in New York or something. I don't know. It's pretty serious. Yeah. So Dallas Cowboys defense is back. I mean, just like they looked in the beginning of the season, it looks like they're all back and they're playing awesome football. And if they're going against Mike Glennon in New York, it's not going to look good, for the Giants at all. So I think if it does go over, it's going to be the Cowboys, and that's what I'm banking on. But I could totally see the under here for that reason.
Yeah.
And
the under for that reason.
So you're going under for that reason. All right.
Houston?
The Houston.
What is with I can't talk.
Ever.
The Houston Texans against the Jaguars.
Oh, you had the opportunity to say Jaguars and you didn't take it.
No. 40.5 over and under, and we both took the under.
Yeah, not exciting at all.
Mm-mm.
I mean, both these teams just struggle. And the politics in Jacksonville right now are pretty gruesome. So I just don't think surprisingly, the politics on the team could affect the players, which I think they do. So, especially in this situation. So, yeah, 40.5 over under. I think that's too high. I see this being a low scoring game for that reason. Tennessee Titans at Pittsburgh Steelers, 41.5 over under. We both went over on this. I feel like both of these teams are competitive, trying to prove something. Makes sense that it could be over.
The Jets at the Dolphins with a 43.5 over and under, and we both took the under.
We both lost all faith in our team.
Yeah.
It's not about faith, it's about performance, and it just they haven't shown up, and now they're going against a division rival who's actually a good defense and a good team that's actually doing pretty decent. I mean, obviously they have their flaws, but they're looking a lot better than the Jets right now. I can't see this being a high-scoring game. Because of that, I think it's going to be back and forth a bit, but I think Dolphins take this one, and I think it's going to be just under 43.5. Washington football team at the Philadelphia Eagles, 43.5. We both went over on this. I feel like this is another, back and forth shootout. Jalen Hurts, I believe, will be back. So I think either way, Gardner Minshew's a great backup. I would rather have Gardner in there just because I picked up Dallas Goedert, and I feel like he gets favored more with Gardner. But Jalen Hurts, I think the last I heard, is playing this week, And if he does, it's still going to be a competitive matchup, especially if Heineke does play, which is looking that way. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be over that, contingent on both of those guys playing. If Heineke doesn't play, then I think this is going to be under.
We got the Cardinals at the Lions with a 47.5 over and under, and we both took the over.
Yeah, this is exciting for the Cardinals.
I was going to say for
the Cardinals. It would be pretty funny, though, if the Lions won this one, too, and had a second win. It's not going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen. Congratulations to the person that does bet on that side, though. That's going to be funny. But, yeah, over basically on the Cardinals side. I think they're going to rule the house on this one. But I could totally see this being one of those sneaky games that you're like, oh, you thought it was going to be a blowout and it ended up being competitive. Either way, I could see it totally being over 47.5. Carolina Panthers at the Buffalo Bills, 43.5 over under. We're both going over on this. I think if Josh Allen's injury isn't significant, then yes, this is easily an over game. And if Cam can just stop being a ball hog and hand it off to a running back and pass it around a little bit more, I think this can be over. That's what I'm putting my confidence in. But I could totally see this being under and have none of that happen. Like Josh Allen doesn't play and Cam is a ball hog.
Right. We have the Bengals at the Broncos with a 43.5 over and under. And I took the over and you took the under.
The only thing that worries me, and a lot of people say it doesn't matter, is Joe Burrow's finger injury, with throwing the ball. And I hope I'm wrong because I have Jamar Chase and I'm going to be playing him, obviously. But if he can't throw the ball or if he's inaccurate throwing the ball against Denver's cornerbacks, it's not going to look pretty for the Bengals. Even though he did hold up this past week, it didn't look too bad on his part. I'm taking the under based on that limitation that could be in play. And the fact that it's the Broncos, who don't seem like a too high scoring of an offense this season, besides like obviously Javonte Williams is a beast. But yeah, I'm taking the under on that.
I chose the over just because I feel like it's going to be pretty competitive.
Yeah.
I feel like the Broncos D is probably going to get at Burrow a few times, but I feel like it's going to be a pretty good match. So
yeah, I could say obviously if Burrow's finger is looking good and he's fine, like I could totally see us going over. The Atlanta Falcons are at the San Francisco 49ers. And the over-under on this is 45.5. I'm going over on this. I think it's going to be a shootout back and forth. I think the Falcons have the weapons they do. They've been utilizing them wisely. And the 49ers are showing up too. So I think this could be, it's not going to be like, 70 points, I don't think. But I think it could be just over 45.5. So I'm going over on this.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about this game. I don't feel like it's going to be much. The Falcons have been a little iffy in my mind. So I don't know. This game doesn't seem very exciting to me.
So you're taking the under?
So I took the under on that. We got the Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams with a 46.5 over and under. And we both took the over. I think this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the type of game. It's like Kansas City against the Chargers. Like when you first read it, you're like, oh, this is going to be over. But you do have to keep in mind certain things are happening here. Odell Beckham Jr. now just popped up with COVID. So if this does keep happening and it takes out, prominent players, there's definitely, it's going to change, the betting odds here. But as of right now, the way it stands, even without Beckham in there, I'm taking the over on this. I think it's going to be exciting. Even if it's just over 46.5, I think it's going to be. Green Bay Packers at the Baltimore Ravens. This is a 42.5 over under. I'm taking the under on this just based on the fact that I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to play based on what I'm hearing. I think the Packers defense is going to be getting most of their points. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to do much. Unfortunate for me, because I have Rodgers, I just don't see him having to, air the ball out as much as he usually does, just because if it's Huntley out there, yes, he can move the ball a little bit, but he's no Lamar Jackson, and I feel like Packers are going to shut him out if Lamar doesn't play. So I'm taking the under on this.
Oh, I took the over.
Yeah. Are you banking on Lamar playing?
But that's the contingents.
Yeah.
Although I feel like even if he doesn't play, I feel like the Packers alone could.
They could run it up. My hope is that Rodgers still balls out, even if they are running, if their defense is scoring points.
The New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a 46.5 over and under. And we both took the under.
Yeah, I feel like this is a one-sided game. I feel like Buccaneers have this one easily. And I feel like the score doesn't need to get too much higher than 46.5 because it probably won't. You either have Taysom Hill or Simeon as a QB. I don't see it looking too pretty against the Buccaneers. The final game, Monday Night Football, Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears, division rivalry, 43.5 over-under. We're both taking the over on this. And I don't know about you, but I'm leaning the Vikings on this. I think they're going to win it. And I think the Chicago Bears are going to put up a fight being a division rival. But they're not going to take this one. And one we forgot to mention in here is the New England Patriots at Indianapolis Colts. The over-under on this game is 45.5. I'm going to take the under on this just because I feel like both teams are going to be fighting each other. And I feel like it's a trap game that makes you think it's going to go over 45.5.
Under on that as well.
Yeah.
The Colts defense is good. So.
Now, keep in mind, like that game, there are Saturday games. What were the other teams playing Saturday?
So it's just New England at the Colts and the Raiders at the Browns at 4:30.